Baby can do a lot of things. Mama can thinks baby can. Daddy can says baby can. Do you think he can? Can baby can learn his ABCs? Mama can says baby can. Daddy can says baby can. Who can? Baby can. Can baby can use his potty? Mama can says baby can. Daddy can says baby can. Who can? Baby can. Can baby can play with his puppy can? Mama can says baby can. Daddy can says baby can. Who can? Baby can. Can baby can hug his teddy can? Mama can says baby can. Daddy can says baby can. Who can? Baby can. Can baby can take his bath? Mama can says baby can. Daddy can says baby can. Who can? Baby can. And can baby can take his nap? Mama can says baby can. Daddy can says baby can. Who can? Baby can. Can baby can wave goodbye? Sure he can. Can you? How did I get started being an author? Well, it was approximately 4 or 5 years ago before I even thought about retiring. I was sitting around with the family and we were watching something on TV, and I can't recall exactly what it was, the hula hoop or a paddle ball or something along those lines, and I made the comment to them that we should come up with something that simple and we could become rich. So I started talking about maybe writing a book or coming up with a character. And I don't have the slightest idea how it popped into my mind, but a baby can. And they asked, what do you mean a baby can? I said, a can with a diaper on it. That would be pretty cute, and you can make all sizes, big and small. And if you came up with a clever saying, say something like, who can, baby can, it could catch on with anybody, from a baby to a grown adult. Who can, Robert Mark Haig can. Who can, little Timmy can. So I sat down and decided to sketch something out. I have a little bit of artistic talent, and I probably put down about 30 characters total. We had a good laugh, thought about it, and everybody agreed it was a great idea, and it went in the junk drawer. And it sat there for about 4 or 5 years. Well, after 4 or 5 years, I was starting to get close to retirement, and knew I'd have to open up some new horizons for myself and go in a different direction. And my daughter, who's an art major at Siena Heights, brought up Baby Can and wondering where he ended up. And he was still in the junk drawer with all his sketches. And I decided to pull him out and start working on him. We chuckled, we laughed, I did, thought it was a great character. Thought it was a great character 4 or 5 years ago, and decided to finally get the book started. I wanted it to be a fairly simple process, or I knew it was going to be, because the book was going to be fairly short. I had already sketched it all out, and basically the whole book was based on the saying, who can, baby can. I wanted to be somewhat inspirational because of raising my own children. I always felt the hardest thing for a kid was failure. Unfortunately, as parents, we never want them to fail, but they're going to, and we do as parents. So I wanted to be somewhat inspirational to let them know they had a partner that would help them struggle through things. If mom asked you to do something or dad asked you to do something, if you couldn't, Baby Can would try and help you. So give it your best effort was what the book was going to be based on. You're not always going to succeed, you will fail, but as long as you try your hardest, that's what the book was going to be based on. My first introduction was before I had the book in hand. I had the opportunity to present it at the Allen Park Street Fair. A buddy of mine owns a store there and gave me a prime spot out front. I went there with great enthusiasm. Although I knew I didn't have the book, I printed a large poster and helium balloons, and I printed some copies of the drafts I had for people to look at in hopes that they would sign up eventually to a website I wanted to establish. Well, that was an eye-opener because being there for 6.5 hours with probably 35,000 people there, the one day I got 7 signatures. So that was definitely a punch in the stomach, and I knew I was going to have to regroup. I was even shocked that I frightened a few kids trying to give them balloons. So here's Baby Can's author trying to get his book out, and he has kids running the other way. Mind you, they eventually came back. I don't know whether it was the candy or the balloons, but at least we got them back into it. I did establish a website, which is whocanbabycan.com. It tells you a little about myself and the book and how I started it. But I'm seeing the uphill battle I have with it is getting it out there in front of people. I've gotten some sign magnets for the truck. I've got it in a number of bookstores in Petoskey, in Sheboygan, in Livonia, in Allen Park. But I'm kind of selling the book on my own, and I'm doing fairly well with it. It's the type of character that catches you, or at least the saying does. I've sold it, gone up to the drugstore, I've gone up to the bank, I've gone up to an appliance store, and just simply set the book down and set my keys down, and I'm eventually asked about it. Once I'm asked about it and someone picks it up, usually the book is sold. So I know my main purpose right now is to get it out in front of people. And like I say, I've taught a class in Gaylord, or at least read the book to a class in Gaylord, and it had a great reception. The character I made, which is a prototype, almost got torn apart. He's not very durable at this point, as he is a prototype, but the kids just loved him. So this book is about what Baby Can do. And he's asked the question during the book, say for example, can Baby Can say his ABCs? And Mama Can will ask the question if he can, and Daddy Can will ask the question if he can, and who can? Baby Can. So it's each individual, it's at a very childlike level at this point. Can he take his nap? Can he eat his vegetables? Can he play with his puppy can? There's other characters involved. He has a teddy can, which is a teddy bear that's a can similar to him. That's the first book. But again, like I say, it's unlimited in which direction he can go. It could be a sports book. It could be an academic book. It could even be a religious book. Can Baby Can say his prayers? So where it's all going to end up, I don't know yet, because like I say, we're just scratching the surface with it. But right now he brings a smile to everybody's face, and we're going to keep pushing him forward. This isn't a hard sale for me. I didn't get in this business to get rich. I wrote the book. I was inspired by my kids and by other kids. Like I say, I coached a little bit in the classes I had been to. And once you see it, I think you'll like it. It's something that you can sit down and in a short time read to your child. At the end of the book, if you go through everything Baby Can does for that each incident, I've got a space on the last page for your child's picture and his name or her name. So the book is always going to end who can Dean can, or who can Bobby can, or whatever your child's name is, and hopefully it'll get them off on the right foot.